We're live, baby. We're live on many Facebook platforms. Better turn this down. All right, we'll wait till everybody gets on board here, and we'll talk about the winter ahead. Can you hear me? Comment if you can hear me. Say hello. I can see your comments. I'll type a opening comment. Oops. There you go. It's kind of a weird reverse caps. Can you hear me okay? Jay Rizzo, tell me you can hear me. Hello, Ashley Baker from Groveland. Naoko. Scoot. All right, can you guys hear me? Yes. Okay, good. All right, good. So I'm here in the weather office, and I'm ready to give you the business. So I'll sit back because if I get too close, I'm too close. You know what I'm saying? It's a good crowd, though. Everybody wants to know about the winter. And what's interesting about this winter, I'm yelling. Oh, okay. Well, then I'll talk quieter. I am a big mouth. This thing must have too good of a mic. I'll talk quieter. So this winter is going to be another one with La Nina. This will be the second in a row of a winter with La Nina as a dominant feature. But this year's a little different in that we think that La Nina, first of all, let's talk about La Nina a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go back one map here. Hold on. Ready? We're going to load up a show. Go back one map if it lets me. Why won't you let me go back? Here, hold on. Okay. Hold on. I got to figure this out. I'm sorry. Boring live broadcast here. We'll get there. That's weird. Oh, I did not highlight it. What's wrong with me? Okay, so we'll start with this guy. This is the La Nina explainer. So what happens during a La Nina? Well, we have trade winds in the Pacific Ocean near the equator, right? So if you're looking at perspective here, let me play this so I can get some tools out. So this is like the coast of Africa, okay? The South African coast, northern part of that country, continent rather. And then here, South America is what I want to say, South America. So the trade winds blow strong from east to west during a La Nina, and that allows cold water to start upwelling or moving upward on to the surface of the ocean floor. And that makes all the convection and the storm development occur to the west. So that changes the jet stream pretty radically, okay? Sharon's in Disney World. All right, good. So this is what a typical La Nina season does, okay? And we already see evidence of this happening. It's been very wet in the Pacific Northwest recently. So that's one thing we see. We also see a lot of warm and dry conditions in the south across a winter with La Nina, strong to moderate La Nina, which is what we're observing. And cold, very cold air is nearby this winter. So we're going to tap into cold once in a while. This is not what I would call a mild winter. I don't expect what you would call a warmer than average winter for us. I think it'll be a little bit below average. Now, one thing that's telling is we do get more precipitation, but we also get westward tracking storms. So that means you would get rain and wind and then go over to some snow and lake snow. But that doesn't mean we won't get a decent amount of snow. Okay, so let's look at the Northeast more specifically. So as I click on the next map, we're going to zoom in a little bit more as I have a sip of coffee. If you have questions, I will try. We love you when you're boring. Thank you, Julie. That means very, very much a lot to me, yes. Even when I'm sober, right? So La Nina in the Northeast, westward storm tracks seem to dominate in La Nina winters. So we'll get a lot of storms this year that take a track a little bit west of us. So that would be like, a wintry mix scenario. You'll hear me a lot this winter give you a forecast like this. Hey, we got some snow, maybe 1 to 3 inches. We're going to get a period of ice, and then we're going to get wind and lake snows that could accumulate 5 to 10 inches tomorrow. That might be our forecast a lot of this winter, okay, because of these westward storm tracks. But I highlighted the lake belts because in this scenario still, there's going to be big lake effect events, east of Erie and Ontario. There's going to be 150, 200 inches of snow in the Tug Hill. There's going to be 150 plus down in the Chautauqua Ridge. It's just the way that these seasons set up. So there's going to be snow. There's going to be opportunity. So what I wanted to show you too, you have to drive to Moravia on Saturday morning. So at least I'll be watching tomorrow night for the latest. Yeah, you will get milder winter, Scott. No, actually, we'll get to that. So Lar, I think you're going to have some snow down there that will already have fallen. But look at this. This is the last 20 years of moderate to strong La Niñas. La Niñas like we expect. Okay, so if you go back to 1999 and 2000, we had 110 inches of snow and a white Christmas. 2007, 2008, we had a very similar scenario, 106 inches. 2010, 11, 127. That's a pretty good amount. But then the last two La Niñas, including last year, they were mopey Decembers. December sucked last year. We had 10 inches of snow. There was nothing even close for a white Christmas. It was terrible. But this year, our 5-year average, by the way, is about 95 inches. And I think that's a reasonable number to predict this year. I think we're going to be between 85 and 100 inches of snow. So let me give you the bold predictions I have for snow. So I do feel like we're going to get a couple of big events, okay? So a couple of 2 to 3 big snowstorms, 12-inch snowstorms, 12 to 20-inch events. They're going to happen, especially when we get into January, okay? Overall, the season will be just below average. I think 85 to 100 at the airport. But that doesn't really mean like that necessarily we're going to not have a lot of snow in Wayne County, okay? Kyle says he's hearing a lot about possible snow Monday night and Tuesday. Yeah, that's going to happen, Kyle. We're going to have strong winds come over the lake. It's not going to be an incredible amount of snow. Maybe Wayne County gets an advisory amount, but it's not going to be a big deal. And then after Tuesday's really cold, and then it'll get better for travel on Wednesday. All right, so how about temperatures? Julia, I think we're going to be at or below average, just a little bit, okay? But look at temperatures. I do expect when we look at, meteorological winter, that starts December 1st and ends February 28th or 29th, whatever year it is. So I think the coldest month is going to be January. Why do I think that? Because we haven't had a brutally cold January in a while. So maybe January does that this year. And the way December is looking, it looks like it's trending colder the second half of the month, early on anyway. So maybe that would bode well for a white Christmas. So let's just have fun and say, yeah, white Christmas is coming. Why not? Why not say it? But slightly colder than average overall, okay? We will have these brief and frequent snaps of cold, which means, 3 to 5 days of bitterly cold air, and then we get a modest warm up. And then it gets, much colder again. But I don't expect like 30 days in a row of punishing cold like we had February of 2015, if you remember that month. Hi, Melody. Hello, Deborah. Should we buy a generator? I don't know, Deborah. Should you? I mean, I can't predict ice storms. Teresa Smart's going on a 2-week cruise in January. Good for you, Teresa. That sounds fun. I don't mind snow. You hate the freezing cold. We're in Rochester. We're going to have those days. I think we'll get a couple days below 0, but I also think we'll get a couple days over 60. So maybe February is a month where we get an early spring for a while. So I mean, that's the general gist of it. Heading to Old Forge Tuesday morning. Will it be a no-go? Danielle, I think you're going to run into some issues on the way to Old Forge. You know how when you go up 81 between Syracuse and Old Forge, that whole corridor is going to be under the gun Tuesday. You're going to have some issues. Hallie says no polar vortex. So the circumpolar vortex always develops up in the eastern and northern part of Canada. The question is, how long does it come south? And that's the other bit of nugget that we can miss. Okay, let's go back to snow for the newcomers. Some of the things that we can't get right, we know a general sense of the winter with the La Nina, but it's those 2-week cycles, like the North Atlantic Oscillation going negative, which would mean a big trough in the east, a polar vortex. And Arctic Oscillation is another thing we have to watch. Aaron says, which city will get the Snowball Award? I would bet this year it would be Syracuse. It's going to win it this year. So above average precip, Jerry, but about average snow, if not a little bit below. So if we get anything over 100 inches officially, I'd be surprised. But you must remember, if you're south of Monroe County and you live in the Genesee Valley in Livingston County, you guys aren't getting 100 inches. You're going to get more 60 to 70. If you're watching tonight from Wayne County and you're up in Sodus, you're 140, 160. If you're watching from northern Monroe County and northern Orleans County, you're over 100 inches. The number I put out is the airport. That's why we say ROC airport, because you know that's where the records are kept, and you know that's where it matters. You know? Let's see. Questions. Yeah, Northeast is a beast in the winter, man. Tug Hill is tough. Now we're talking negative NAO. Yeah, Kevin, we're going to get a couple of rounds of those. And I think the one that we get hit with is going to be in January. Now, again, that's like a 2-week predictor. We can't really predict beyond that. But looking at patterns now, and I see December, at least initially, won't start that bad. So that would make me believe that maybe as we get into the second half of December, we start going down. Question. Victor, New York, would you go contract or buy for the trip? I hate making those advisements. For me, when I used to have a plow contract, I always bought the annual because then there was no debate when the guy had to come. You know, if you go buy plow, I almost feel like they're incentivized to come more than they should. I don't know. That's the cynic in me, maybe. Bring on the Greenland block. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of blocking patterns we look at. If we get like a classic, you know, Greenland block where he's referring to a huge high pressure over Greenland and it's mild there, then you get a big digging trough west of there, which is us. So, I mean, you can get an Aleutian high. The Aleutian high will drive in cold air. So there's going to be opportunities where we get that. Donnell wants to know about a white Christmas. I'm never not predicting a white Christmas. Mark wants to know if Bobby Metcalf agrees. I don't know. I mean, he's too busy with playing with his hose. I don't even know if he looks at weather anymore, you know? So anyway, back to historical stuff. Ashley loves the name Mr. Freeze. Yes, that is who I am tonight. So there's the history the last 20 years of similar setups to winter, okay? And we also had a cold October or a mild October and a cold November so far, despite what we saw for a few days. We're below average for the month. Appreciate your expertise. Thanks, man. Thank you, Kevin. Things are good. You're welcome, Lindsay. I'll wait. I see the numbers are dwindling, but if anybody else wants to ask a question, I will be happy to answer it. Rosie Puglisi. Hello, Rosie. Rosie the Riveter. Always learn something. Thank you, Candy. So there's the averages. You know, we had 2 green La Ninas in a row. So the heck with that. Let's go with a white Christmas. Thank you, Mark. How are you, man? I always know who you are by that Oreo cap. Will the Finger Lakes have even lower tallies? You know what? Climatologically speaking, Liam, yes. A lot of the snow at the airport is also given from the lake. So the further away you are from lake influences, a big reduction in snow. I should have popped up the regional snow map. I'll have to get that going. I don't know if I could find that easily. Let me see if I can. You guys keep asking questions. I'll try to load that in. I think we have a snow map. Shame on us if we don't. I'll have to make one, an annual snow map. If not, I could give you the month-by-month breakdown. Let's see what we got. Give me a second now. These are all, by those little thumbnails, those are all the images that we have at our disposal. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's hard to keep track of. I think this is the one you might want to see. So this is last year's snowfall. Okay, we'll take you back in time. So this is last La Nina. Now you have to remember last year's La Nina was a what did I do? Let's go. I'll go back to that. Hold on. I didn't load it in my show. Shame on me. Terrible. Charles Barkley would say terrible. All right. I'm going to put it in the show this time. So anyway, last year was a very weak La Nina, so we didn't get a lot of snow last year. But let's look at it. This is a really cool graphics. I'll put that in too. La 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 la, hang with me, la la la, sing songy. Seems like this November has been sunnier than we usually see. I don't know, Timmy. It's been about average. Let's see. All for a white Christmas. After that, it can stay away. I don't think it will. Will it be safe to go to Glen Mills, PA, the first week of December, Christmas week? Oh, Marge, I wish I could tell you. I cannot predict that. It's too early, man. Too early. You got to give me a few weeks. I mean, next week we can give you a better idea on the first week of December. All right, so that's last year. Remember, we averaged about 100 inches in a year, okay? But if you look at this, you can clearly see that we had barely any snow in November, just like this year, 10 and a half in December. January got a little better. We finally had a winter, and that was in February. So if I were to, make that prediction for this year, I would say that the snowiest month will be January. Okay, I think we're going to peak in January. I think we'll have a 30-inch month of snow in January. Kevin wants to know if I can elaborate on teleconnections. Difficult for us to digest, fully comprehend. You can't predict it. You know what? I mean, I can. Maybe I should do a show on these indices and how they are analyzed and what they mean. But I think for tonight, I would just probably make everybody drool. So I'll have to do that, Kevin. But they are very important. And these are climate feedbacks and blocking patterns we just learned about over the last 60 years, really. And we just recently, in the last 30, 40 years, realized how important they are to foresee when they go negative or positive phases, what they do for us. But we'll do that. We will do that. Buffalo Saturday night. Buffalo looks pretty good Saturday night. Nothing going on. Hello, Linda. So Luis might get a snowy birthday month. So again, that's last year. This is just something that's fun. I can go back to the winter outlook if you want. These are different types of snowflakes, depending on temperatures. You usually get these guys in warmer temperatures. See these guys here? These guys start forming when the air gets really chilly, okay? But this is true dendritic accretion right there. That's when, the water vapor goes directly onto the crystal right there. That's a deposition, man. That's where it all happens right there. Pretty cool stuff. All right, so back to La Nina before I go, and then I got to get ready for my show. So again, when we look at a La Nina pattern, right, it's usually wet and snowy in the northwest. We already see some signs of that. Oh, I know. I'd love to get the foo on, but the problem is I'm on 13 Wham's page, and we'll get turned off if the Facebook overlords hear Foo Fighters. So I can't play the foo tonight. So we go back to the northeast. So the jet stream, you see the track of that jet. And that, again, is not a positive jet for a lot of big snowstorms, maybe a couple, but you want the storms usually further east or diving out of the upper Midwest too. But we'll get our chances. I don't want you to be sad about that. So again, nor'easters are usually less frequent than La Nina in La Nina winters, but not zero. So we'll get one or two potentially. And the question is, do they stall out? Do they throw a lot of snow off the lake? Do we get lake enhancement? Lake enhancement snow is this stuff. It's when a storm system would kind of go over off the coast and die, like somewhere over here. Say I'll draw a low, make this be the low. So the storm's there, and it feeds extra moisture off the lake. Those lake enhancement vents can really pummel our area with big time snow. So I'm going to leave the predictions with you one more time. Okay. So again, snowfall wise, 2 to 3 big foot plus events. I think overall near or just below average snow, but still a pretty robust winter. Better than the last 2 winters, okay? We're going to get more snow than the last 2, I think. And then as we look ahead here, slightly colder than average. We'll get those cold snaps. January looks to be the chilliest. It's nice to be back on StreamYard. And it's nice to have all you watch. So that's it. See me on 13 Wham at 11. And that's it. Linda, I want one too, a white Christmas. We're going to work on it. All right. Let's do a snow dance.